Ramzan Kadyrov told journalists of the publication Chechnya Today that he asked for resignation. This is not the first time the head of Chechnya has said this. It is likely that he wants to transfer power to his son, although he is not yet 18 years old. Olga Romanova, chairwoman of the Sidyashchaya Rus charity foundation, expressed this opinion on Channel 24, noting that Kadirov may already be preparing for death. However, despite the deterioration of his health, it may not come because of this. The head of Chechnya told journalists that he also heard rumors that they wanted to fire him, but he, according to him, asked for it himself. Allegedly, another person will have new initiatives, but still, the decision must be made by Vladimir Putin. According to the head of the charity foundation, Kadirov has been asking to be dismissed from his post since 2016 because his time has already come. The announcement of his resignation was made in 2020 and 2022. At the same time, it will be difficult to transfer power to his son, Adam. He is still a minor. I think Kadirov is preparing for death. Obviously, it will not be from old age. He is still young. If he did not look like that, he would live to be like Adam, Romanova emphasized. By the way, on May the 7th, a personal meeting between Putin and Kadyrov took place to discuss the socio-economic issues of the Chechen Republic. The Institute for the Study of War reported that during the conversation, the dictator hinted that he was counting on Kadyrov's continued leadership. Kadyrov said earlier this week that he had asked the Kremlin leader to relieve him of his post. The 48-year-old later revised his statement, emphasizing that he would continue to serve Putin as a team player. Some experts speculate that Kadyrov's remarks about stepping down, which he has made several times over the years, are likely part of a strategy to secure financial or other guarantees from Moscow rather than a genuine desire to retire. The speculation follows unconfirmed reports of Kadyrov's deteriorating health and growing tensions with Putin over unauthorized talks with Middle Eastern officials about security guarantees should he step down. Putin appointed Kadyrov in 2007 after the assassination of his father and predecessor, Akhmat Kadyrov. Initially fighting against Russian forces in the First Chechen War, Kadyrov Sr. later switched sides, rising to prominence within Moscow's ranks. In a follow-up post, Kadyrov quoted Putin's dismissal of the rumors about his resignation, saying, "The reports of my death are greatly exaggerated," a line borrowed from American author Mark Twain. Putin added that, "We still have a lot of work to do. I'm following the order of the Supreme Commander." Kadyrov wrote,
Three fighters of the 1st Tank Brigade of the Ukrainian Armed Forces have repelled the attack of a platoon of Russian army soldiers. Ukrainian fighters, 2 of whom were wounded, targeted the invaders who attacked their positions with submachine guns and hand grenades. The invaders, who suffered losses, tried to hide in nearby buildings. However, drone operators who came to the aid of the Ukrainian fighters targeted the shelters with kamikaze drones. As a result, Ukrainian fighters held their positions, most of the attacking invaders were destroyed, and the survivors fled the area.
The truth about the defeat of the Russian Black Sea Fleet in the war against Ukraine was unexpectedly revealed on air by Kremlin propagandist Vladimir Solovyov. Discussing Ukraine's successful operation off the coast of Novorossiysk, Kremlin propagandists became sad. They admitted that the Black Sea Fleet had been useless. We, having a fleet, are fighting at sea with a state that does not have a fleet. It turns out that the Black Sea Fleet is essentially fighting with some kind of ghost or phantom. But at the same time, it manages to suffer losses, the expert said. He called the events absurd. Russian ZWAR correspondent Alexander Sladkov colorfully described in his blog how the Black Sea Fleet actually fights. I feel sorry for us. They are hitting us like flies with a fly swatter. The Russian Federation is shaking from the enemy's UAV raids. Now even the combat fleet does not know where to hide, the propagandist said. Z-blogger Fighter Bomber also made a similar statement. He admitted that Ukraine's unmanned boats changed the balance of power in the Black Sea. Russia suffered a crushing defeat. The situation in the Black Sea has changed dramatically, not in our favor. It changed in one day. Now we can destroy unmanned boats only during the day, in good weather using jet aircraft. The surface fleet is not capable of defending itself, the Russian propagandist wrote. Recall recently Ukrainian intelligence destroyed 2 enemy Su-30 multi-role fighters in one day, and as the head of the main intelligence directorate of the Ministry of Defense, Kirill Budanov, noted, it was a historic moment. In a commentary to the war zone, Budanov revealed some new details of the operation. Thus, according to him, the fighters were shot down by air-to-air missiles with infrared guidance AIM-9 Sidewinder, launched from unmanned boats Magura 7. At the same time, earlier, the media wrote that the Russian Su-30 fighter was destroyed with the help of an unmanned boat armed with an anti-aircraft guided missile of the R-73 type. Videos of the first downed Su-30 have been circulated on social networks, although, according to Budanov, there are no videos or images of the second downing. According to Budanov, the GUR used 3 Magura 7 unmanned boats in the attack, 2 of which fired at the aircraft. He explained that the Magura 7 is a variant of the Magura 5 air defense system, but declined to specify the difference between the two. Budanov also reported that the crew of the first Su-30 survived and was picked up in the Black Sea by a civilian vessel. According to preliminary data, the crew of the second plane died. According to Budanov, the GUR began installing AIM-9s on unmanned boats in January. He did not comment on whether this was the first time they had been fired at a target from unmanned boats. In the past, Ukrainian unmanned boats used only Soviet-designed air-to-air missiles as air defense systems. We use several models of missiles on our Magura 7, but the AIM-9 gives the best results, he noted.